So glad that you guys are here with us today. We've got a great show with you. We're talking all about pin reviews and some other cool stuff. But if you know somebody who's like, man, they really need help with their pins, they need to know about this, feel free to, drop them in down below, let them know about it. You don't have to be mean. Just say, hey, this is really interesting. You might want to look at this. So drop that in, drop their names in down below. Feel free to share it across all the socials. We'd appreciate that. And we are going to have some fun today. Alisa, how are you doing?
Mm-hmm. I'm doing great, Jeff. How are you?
I am here and I'm excited. So I want to also let you guys know, do not forget about the awesome toolkit. I mean, the new templates that Tailwind has put together. You can find that at bit.ly /T /TW Pinterest Toolkit. That's all lowercase, all smashed together. Elisa's so excited she's singing. So make sure you guys go check those out. The April templates are in. They're really cool because they're also inside of Create, where you can just make them all inside of Tailwind Create, add your images. And there you go. We've got some of our friends showing up today. We've got Trona, of course, is here. She's always here. I just followed her. She's on Twitter. She's everywhere. So I went and followed her today.
Yeah.
So you guys. Yeah,
I just joined her Facebook group.
Yeah, amazing. And Brian says, "Good evening, all from Barcelona." Thank you, Brian, for coming today. Appreciate you. And then Lenise says, "Hey, from Florida. Hey, back at you."
Hey.
So we're excited for everybody coming in today. It's going to be fun. We are going to do some pin reviews, but first, Alisa. We have some news. As people are coming in, we have some actual Pinterest news that hit the newsstands, if people even read newspapers anymore. And breaking news, there's cats everywhere.
Our
cats are falling from the ceiling. What tell people see your cat. Grab her real quick and introduce her to everybody, because she's part of the show, and tell her the name and she's a wildcat.
My face. This is Sunny. He's
is
a boy.
Feral?
Ow! Oh, he just kicked me in the face. I'm putting him down.
Okay, so much for that idea. Bad idea, Jeff.
He's very talkative and very friendly, and also has very sharp edges. I think I'm bleeding, but
are you really? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's
okay. He's the one you hear in the background howling about the misery of his life.
Right.
He has a pretty great life.
Troda says, she's lovely. So Sunny the cat, Sunny the killer cat with the these legs of steel. So anyway, excited. So Pinterest news. We're talking all about Pinterest news. There's stuff that came out. So Pinterest, first of all, they announced that they had this new. They were actually giving $500,000 for this new creator fund, where they are doing this launch of this creator fund. And we're going to talk about this creator code is another thing that they announced as well. But this is kind of to help with inclusion. They're using this money to help creators, so it's kind of cool. I don't even know where you can go apply, but I know that's this new fund is out there, or maybe they're just doling it out. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it looks like they are doing some outreach for that. Yeah. So and it's only in specific industries too. So it's fashion, photography, food, and travel. It sounds to me like they've already made the selections because they provided some training, some consulting strategy, and budget for content creation and ads. So it's a cool deal, but I didn't get chosen for it. Did you?
Right. I did not.
No.
Think that bearded guys would just go to the front of the line, to get shorn, shaved. But no, they also announced this interesting thing, and I would love to know your thoughts about this new content policy they're calling the creator code. So I want a secret code ring if I'm part of the creator code, but I don't know if I'll get that in my cereal box.
Reasonable to me.
So what is this creator code, and have you had to sign anything about this creator code, Alisa?
I haven't. I'd be happy to, but it's a new content policy. So we want to keep Pinterest an inspiring, positive place. I think we're all on board with that. And it's just kind of hey, you'll agree to do this and we'll let you create story pins. So that's going to be the deal. Like, if you do not sign this agreement, you will not be able to post story pins.
What's just really interesting is a lot of people, like I believe Tailwind still doesn't have story pins. So
you rub it in. I mean,
I know it's kind of weird. So, so what this and this is from, I believe, TechCrunch that I got this from. So when you do the story pins, it's going to come up on screen and you're going to tap a button that says, I agree to statements that include to be kind, that you're checking your facts, be aware of triggers, you're going to practice inclusion, and kind of do no harm, which I think all of us should be done. So, but this is going to be kind of enforced the same way Pinterest right now applies its rules for other content policies. So it's kind of this combo from what we understand of machine learning and human review. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. So it's not yet live yet, I guess, but I mean,
I don't think
it's
so.
rolling out to people, I guess, in the weeks ahead.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. And it goes along with this new kind of content moderation tool that they have out. Have you seen that?
Well,
I haven't actually seen it in person.
No, but so this is what I think is going to like affect more people because it's kind of an interesting way. So they're launching this comment moderation tool that will allow creators to remove and filter comments on their content, as well as tools that will allow them to feature up to 3 comments in the comment feed to highlight positive feedback. So it sounds like you can pin like 3 comments to the top. Favorite. It'd be interesting if you can rotate that around, what that's going to mean for, like, who knows? It's going to be an interesting thing. So it's also got...
you could.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say also they do have a new spam prevention tool going on. So there's some machine learning to kind of remove those bad comments so that you don't even have to. The one thing I did see a little video of is the positivity reminder. So if you are leaving a comment on a pin and Pinterest kind of picks up that maybe there's a negative word in there, they're going to be like, oh, is this really positive? Is this going to be a good experience? And, just kind of remind you before you hit that send button.
I really wish I had that for my kids when they were little. Like, hey, here's your positivity reminder. Just quit beating on your sister. No, it didn't work. But anyway, so that's what's rolling out. It's going to be cool. This is a great question, and I don't know the answer from Carol. She goes, is it retroactive if you already do story pins so that, agreeing to this code? I have a feeling when you go to create a story pin, when this rolls out, even if you've done it before, it's going to ask you to sign this creator code or acknowledge it. So that's what I understand is going to happen. So if you have it, I don't think it's going to take it away and then you have to do it. I think it'll be like when you do this, your next story pin, that will probably pop up. So
yes, I would think so too. It's going to apply to everybody, whether you have story pins now or later. I think if you don't sign it, I would guess that your story pins will disappear. So
that is a good point. So
sign it and do it.
Yeah. So my thing is, I hope I see it, because you get in a rush. And you're I hit the wrong button. I hope there's a way to go, no, I really meant to say yes.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
So, so they're trying to do a lot of this stuff. We talked about this new creator fund and, they've been doing these inclusive features like skin tone ranges and all this stuff that they're trying to really make it inclusive. And so I think this is all great steps that Pinterest is doing. And this is all from the Pinterest head of content said this. So it's really interesting of all the stuff that's going on there. So that's the news, folks.
That's the news. That's the way we heard it.
All right, so you guys ready for those awesome pin reviews? So we've got some email went out with a place to submit your pin reviews, and so we've got some that we're going to talk about here for the next couple of minutes. So, Elisa, you want to get it ready and go, or do you want to talk about something else first?
No, I want to do it. Okay. So
I'm going to pull your screen up. Okay, here we go. There we go.
You see it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this one made me smile. I think it's adorable.
Oh, yeah. Now, okay, is the video... hit the repeat on this. Is the video stretched weird? Or is that just my computer? Okay.
No, it's stretched a little weird. So I thought, as much as it made me smile, there's still stuff to talk about, which is always good.
Yeah, I think you can pause it. Go ahead and pause it right there. Hit pause.
Yeah.
Bam.
Right okay. Sorry
the girl. Okay, right there. That's good.
There they are. Yeah, they're a little stretched.
Okay. Yeah, so I have a friend who does this on every single presentation they do. They stretch their images to fit like their PowerPoint. and it drives me bonkers. So that would be the first thing that I would fix. I love the idea of this pin because I love that, one, there's 3 images. I really like that there's a variety, and I really like that they have a video as one of those things. It just needs to be formatted correctly. I'm not sure what this was created in, but I think they're off to the right start because I think that is really cool, and it looks like it's a really cool video. So those are my thoughts.
Yeah, and the elements are adorable. The colors are great.
Right.
I like seeing the product itself.
Right.
And then,
but you know what I'm going to say too is that I can't read and I'm looking, this is the first time I've seen this pin. Fresh eyes. I can't see that games, and I have to really look games and activities pack at the bottom. So I would put a white background, like a square behind it or something, or a rectangle behind it, so that would pop. What are your thoughts?
Or maybe you just make this a little shorter so it's not stretched out, and then just have the same thing. Yeah,
and the same thing with I would put like, if you want to have the slumber party in the middle, that's still pretty hard to read for me.
Yep.
I would put I like the idea of where the text is, so I think that's cool. I would just put a white rectangle behind it, and the same thing.
Can we just make the yellow background a little bit bigger? Right, it will look good on yellow.
Yeah, I just don't know. You know, I think I like that it's centered in the middle of it. And I see what she's trying to do. You could do either one, and the same way with the top with the best. I would either move that up to the purple or do something so it would pop out. It's just that text is hard to read. And remember, you only got a split second for people to stop that scroll on Pinterest, and it's getting super competitive. And if they don't know, I mean, the video is going to catch their eye. But if they don't know what it's about, then they're like, "Oh, I'm going to move on." So that's what I would do.
And we can't count on the video always playing in the feed either, because there's only going to be one video playing in the feed at a time. But the other thing I would say is like the title. It's just kind of too many keywords in there, so it needs to be a reason to click. Like, plan the best slumber party ever would be fine, right? Right.
Yeah, and I love like. Top 10 things to do in your kid's slumber party, which is, how much NyQuil can you serve at a slumber party so you can make them sleep?
None.
Okay,
Jeff,
that's wrong. Okay, so but the thing at the very, very top, at the very, very beginning, I really liked what she was doing too, with that the best at the top animated in. So I liked it. Yeah, I saw. I thought it did. Maybe I had my NyQuil too early. No, there. See, it's animating. Yeah, watch.
Yeah, you're right.
See, that's. Because you can't see it and there's not much contrast, it's lost. But I like that she's got movement at the top and she's also got movement at the bottom, which is really cool. I think that's a great start to a video pin.
Okay. And I should have mentioned, this is Michelle Trombley. So we've seen Michelle.
Yeah, she's in there. She's saying, thanks, love that. Yeah, so all this is done, everybody, if we're critiquing your pins, this is all done with love. And both Elisa and I have pins that we don't want people to look at, and you guys are really bold for putting these out here that we can talk about them. But
seriously,
we're always trying to do better. But I love video pins, Michelle. So that's, I think, a great start. It's just that squash video, and I think if you use like in video or something, you might be able to fix that so it's not stretched or distorted that way. But I love that idea.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Matthias. And Matthias is on to our pronunciation difficulty, so he said we could call him Matthew, but we're going to go with Matthias.
Okay.
We can do it.
Oh, this is why I know why you picked this one. This is what Elisa does on her spare time. So.
Yes, exactly. And I'm going to share this with you guys. It's like a teeny tiny case study. I created a story pin that is showing how to do an acrylic pour, and like Matthias, it has like the ingredients you need and all that good stuff. I got decent views on it. Pretty good amount of saves, 7 reactions, so I'm not counting my own heart that I put on my own story. But what I wanted to see is it going to impact my follower count?
Right.
So I looked at the 10 days before the story pin and up to that day, and then that day, and then 10 days later, I gained 8 followers the 10 days before. I gained 33 followers the 10 days after, which, I mean, a small volume, but still.
Right. And it's interesting.
Compelling case.
And it's interesting too, because I mean, you aren't a painting Pinterest account.
I'm not selling my paint.
Yeah,
no, I'm not.
And you're not. It's not really in your niche or what you usually pin. You just have started doing this because it's interesting, and it is pretty awesome. And she's really good at it, by the way, too, folks, if you haven't watched it. So very, very cool. She's going to have to start selling her stuff. But that is an interesting story for story pins. So, So, and even these small studies, and I think we need to talk about this, that you're tracking it. And so you can see, and so you can try it again and see, was that a fluke? Or was that something that, okay, story pins are working for me. How am I going to incorporate that into my, Pinterest strategy? So
exactly right. Yep. Okay, so let's look at this one here. We've been looking at it for a minute. Matthias. This is very pretty. Okay, so acrylic pouring how-to. Art for your home decor by Matthias Hauser. Very nice. Okay, so we're seeing the actual. This is just, to me, very relaxing to watch. But okay, now he's going to show us how to do it. And then, yes, you always think you don't need to. So
this is a story pin. We're actually clicking through. This is a story pin, right?
Yeah. And a great use of video. Story pins with videos are very compelling. Okay, so here's how to actually layer the paint. Okay, this, I cannot
Right, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yep, okay. But, that just looks so nice. Yeah, okay.
So
you ready? You ready?
Right.
Gonna do it. This is the moment. This is the moment of truth.
Look at that.
Oh, still can't read that either.
No.
Okay. Wait for it. Wait for it. Ooh, I can't stand it.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing and this, I think this, you can take some stuff from Instagram stories, YouTube stories, YouTube shorts, all sorts of things with this. I like what he's showing, but I would make the action speed up. You see what and so like that one, especially that one shot where you saw it just sitting there, and I get the wait for it thing, but I would move it so that there was a long pause before the hand moved into the shot. So I would cut these down so they're like, and I'm trying to build up my YouTube, and I am being brutal. And so you got to make like boom, boom, boom. It's got to be really, really quick for keeping people's attention, because we're like goldfish. It's only like 3 seconds. And so you just got to keep boom, boom, boom. I love the storytelling in that pin, though. I thought he was taking us through this process. I thought that was really, really good. I would just move it so there was more movement to keep people engaged. The other thing,
even you can take this on time lapse.
Yeah, a time lapse thing there, or something like that, where we could see something happen. I mean, something's happening, but maybe some people would say this is like watching paint dry, which a lot of people would like to see.
Like, literally.
But I like to see like this, but like but maybe doing that time lapse. The other thing is, I would really on this text put something, even on, just so it's consistent throughout the entire time, put it on some sort of banner or a rectangle background. If you're going to keep it white, it looks like it almost was maybe done with Instagram, with kind of the fonts maybe. But I would put a background behind that and just do it throughout every single one, so it's consistent. And so you can have like because that one, like even when it was the black letters, you couldn't read it at all. That would be the thing I would do.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to mention is the last slide here, which is really important. Follow me on Pinterest. I would like to hear a little bit more. Like, did you like this? Do you want more acrylic painting? Like, I just feel like this could be more compelling. Like, what am I going to get if I follow you?
Now, apologize, Matthias, this is your wife at the bottom. But to me, it looks like a stock photo person. I would rather have you pointing up and to yourself.
Just to the follow me.
Yeah, because that makes it more personable. Nobody could ever have that stock photo but you. I would do that. I think that would be really clever, like you pointing up, and you got a camera, so it looks like you take photos. So I think that would be a fun in screen for your Instagram. For your Pinterest story. And you could reuse that. It's a great call to action.
And it sounds like Matthias is selling his paintings. So, but I'm only getting that because I've watched this a couple times and looked at kind of his profile. So maybe give a little bit more of a hint to that in your title.
Like, so what are your thoughts about? I mean, I think I understand for SEO perspective, the acrylic pouring how-to. Is there a reason because you want acrylic pouring up first, or do you want to, could you do like how to do acrylic pouring?
Well, you could definitely do that. However, it's on the first slide.
Right.
So I don't think I'd repeat it. And the other thing is, I think the purpose here is to get people to his site so they can buy his art. So I would start priming that thought in the title.
Right. Like something like how I prepare my paintings for
or how I create
my art.
fine art.
Yeah. That's a great point.
Cool.
Here's a good question from let's see. So like Marian says, I would change it to how to create an acrylic pour. We talked about that. And somebody said the background was distracting. I don't mind the background. I just want to be able to read that text.
Right. Yeah. I think with acrylic pouring, your background's going to be kind of messy usually, but I know what they're saying. Like you could use like a puppy pad instead of the grid thing, maybe just for when you're recording.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The text thing, this one, I can't read the text at all. So I would find a good, like a template, like using InVideo or Wave or whatever that has one that you can use for all your panels. And then you could just do it really quick, all of them, and you wouldn't have to worry about the background and having the contrast be lost.
Yeah.
But it's very cool.
Very good. Yeah, very cool. Okay, let's move on to Michelle. Mom and Me mug set, Queen Bee mini bee mug. Say that 10 times fast, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't want to curse on, I'd say something
I know.
wrong. Yeah.
So this, I think, is a really cute concept for a product. Really cute.
I love the because I have bees. I love it.
Oh yeah. But what would we call you? You
can call me King Bee. That's okay. King Bee is great. I can start putting that as my lower third.
One of these for Jody.
Yeah. Okay. It's a huge title. The Mom and Me mug set, Queen Bee mini bee mug set. So I would almost want to see. I mean, it looks like she may have got it out of a catalog, but I almost want to see the product bigger, and maybe have like the mini bee mug set. That would be it on the image.
Yeah. The thing to me that's like, I get the concept and I think it could be really cute, but I think what's missing is that emotional connection, right? So what you want out of this is a really special moment with your kid, right? So a photo of a mom and their kid drinking out of their mug, sitting in their PJs on like a swing in the backyard would be just like super adorable. It would put the product into the place you want it to be, and kind of pull out that emotion that you want. That's what I would do. And it doesn't have to be like, if you have an iPhone, you could take a great picture like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And just make sure when you're taking it, that when you have the mommy juice, that you have it in the right mug and don't give the
not the poly one, the ceramic one,
not the small. Yeah. So, but I think that would be good. But just on this pin, it looks like this was almost taken out of catalog, and then she added the mug set over, like she's trying to hide something, like somebody else's logo, maybe. I mean, maybe that's probably not what she did, but I mean, it looks like when somebody has done this before, has stole my pen or stole my art, my graphic art stuff, they will cover it up in that kind of a way. And so it looks that way. It may not be that way, but that's what it looks. So
I would guess it's probably like from the supplier kind of image, which maybe that's all you have to work with. But if you could just order one and take an image, I think it would make a world of difference. And I don't think I'd put 2 URLs on there either.
That's what I was going to ask about. And so, I mean, I would assume that Wild Designs leads to her Etsy shop. So I would probably do that instead of wilddesigns.etsy.com. That would just be my guess. Or if not, I would make sure to have a link to it from your website. That way, it's the Wild 5 Designs looks better, but also the text looks scrunched together.
Well, it has to be because it's
so long, right?
Yep. But here's something that I think Michelle is on the right track. Mother's Day gift, right? So she's got that that keyword in there, which I think is smart, especially this time of year. Let's look at how Pinterest sees this. it sees that it's an image and that it has a connection to Mother's Day. So I think like SEO wise, good job.
And I love your idea of, something like a little girl presenting it to mom, like in your outside of thing, but a cool way that to make even if, let's say you didn't want to stage a photo shoot, you wanted to use these images that were provided for you from the design, from the catalog or whatever, I'd make those mugs bigger. I would probably, make the title shorter, but something to do for an animated pin. You could have almost like just a cartoon animated bee just buzzing around that. That would be really eye-catching in the feed. And I know you could probably find them that have a transparent background, so you could just slap it on there, still leave everything static, but have that bee buzzing around. That would catch people's eye.
Yep. Very good. Agree. Okay. You ready for Delaney?
I have so much fun. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Let us know down below in the comments.
Yeah, give us your tips too. I know.
I mean, I see some of them coming up.
Okay. Cool.
So Michelle says, I make those in the bee mugs. I make them in our studio so I could do that. Good advice. Thank you. Yeah. You know what? I would love, Michelle, I would love to see you making them. That would be a good story pin.
Oh, it would.
If you make them in your studio, like the behind the scenes, and then, I just think that would be really, really cool. So there you go.
So cool. Okay. All right. Delaney has given us lemon and blueberry turnovers. I mean, not literally, but that would be nice. 3. How do you make turnovers out of 3 ingredients?
I don't know, but they look really good.
They do. That's some good photography.
I like her. I love her website too, Dishing with Delaney. That's cool.
Yes.
And I like the way that looks. You know what I'm going to say, Elisa?
I do. I know what you're going to say. Go ahead and say it.
Scripty fonts, folks. Come on.
All right, but let's see.
So go back down there. Go back down there.
I'm going back down there.
Okay, look down. Okay, look at that blueberry pound cake. Look how, and the other ones, compared to the one, the key lime pie right next to it. Look how that pops, that blueberry pound cake, just by scrolling down. And, those scrolly fonts are hard to see in the feed, folks. I'm just telling you. They look great on Instagram. But
there's another one. We're seeing Dishing with Delaney everywhere. Okay. But Pinterest has figured out what this pin is, right? It's got it in the right neighborhood. So that's really good. But yes, even though this font is super pretty, it's very scripty. It also smashes lemon and 3 ingredient together. So a little bit of a spacing thing going on. But if you squish it, I think Jeff's right.
I love the photography too, and I'm wondering if
so good.
If there's a way to make that. I would almost try it sometime with just without text to see how it performs, because that is a really good image.
Agreed.
But it looks like a Harry Potter font to me. It's a disconnect from the beautiful image at the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pat goes. Great, now I have to go find lemon blueberry recipes. Sidetrack, rabbit trail. Yeah.
Right, that's what Pinterest is good for. I would also like to see it a little bit closer up so you can see the texture. I think that would be super appealing.
So Lanice says, I use Canva to do my pins, just started, but it would be nice if you tell us what applications that are being used for these pins. So we don't know, Lanice, what applications they just send these pins into it, but if you like one or something, make sure you ask in the comments, and I'm sure that probably the community would let you know. This it's hard to guess by just looking, but
it is.
There's tons
of course we assume that some of them were made with Tailwind Create, which is the easiest and fastest way to make gorgeous pin images.
So Michelle says I've been using Tailwind Create. She loves it.
Awesome.
Marianne uses Canva. I'm a big fan of Easel as well, but Tailwind Create's awesome for all this stuff. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, thanks for making us hungry. What?
Okay. Marianne asked this. Also, do we need a URL on our pins anymore? What say you?
You need some kind of branding. Either your URL or your logo will be fine. It helps with brand recognition, and it helps with conversion. So if people know where they're going when they see your pin, they get to your site, they're more likely to convert and do what you want them to do.
And I think this size compared to the rest of the pin for Dishing with Delaney is perfect. It's very clean. It looks really classy, and I just love it. So I think that's a great use of her font there at the bottom.
And I love that she didn't put the www dot because we don't need that anymore, but I still see it a lot.
Yeah, I may do that sometimes accidentally.
Oh, don't do that, Jeff. Okay. All right. Here we go. This one, and let me get the name before I forget.
Our friend Sally says Tailwind Crate is very clever. Canva's good too. Yeah. Thanks, Sally. You. Hope she started a brand new Pinterest community. It's really cool. So that's awesome.
I know. Okay, cool. So this is Rhea. And this is a story pin.
Ooh, yeah. That I bet was done in Canva. I bet.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just guessing.
All right. So we have ingredients, even with the quantities. Before you begin. So I know a lot of.
I like that. I like this
I like it too.
layout. Yeah.
So I know a lot of recipe bloggers didn't even really like the rich pin format because then they thought, well, people don't have to go to your website. This goes even further, right? Because this tells you exactly how to do it. Mm-hmm. This is a ton of value right here. But, you know, there's really no need to go to your website, which is this is the purpose of a story pin. This is like a perfect example of what they want from story pins.
Unless you would say something at the end, like make a panel that would say, to print out my recipe, go, visit, whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. Or, you could also use this to tease it. See, I mean, she's got one like follow us for more recipes, videos, and pins. Yeah. And she has an arrow. I like that. Very smart. Very cool. I like how you drew the eye to that, and I like that image. Go back to the first pin, the first panel.
Okay.
This just seems a disconnect to the rest of them to me. Does it to you?
I don't know if a disconnect, but I want more. Like I want this to be moving. Like I want a video, and I also want not gray letters for brownie. Like I just want it to really pop. I think if it was white or even maybe yellow, it would just pop.
Gotcha. Okay. I don't.
What were you thinking?
I just I guess the brownie crinkle, and this is very, very subjective. I don't know with that little crinkle thing on the side.
Oh, too much.
I don't know. It's just because everything else looks really clean, and the colors look. I don't know. It just looked like it was a disconnect to the rest of the pin. Okay. I really like the other panels. I really like
these. Are so good. These extra tips here. You're really giving a lot of value here and getting some nice reactions. I'll give you. Can I give you a heart too? There we go. And well, maybe that comment was moderated. I don't know. But I think this is really good.
And I think it probably Canva has a thing where you can animate each image, and it looks like that. And I think that's enough for this kind of story pin. I think it catches you, and it makes me want to click through to the other images. So this end pin, I like the style of this look more than the one I did at the beginning. I don't know why. That's just me, maybe.
Oh no, there's a lot of great information here. Follow us for more recipes, videos, and pins. Like, what are we going to get? That's it. And there's your website. So we know that Pinterest is kind of holding back distribution if you use a link in your text.
Right.
But I would guess that this is probably okay. And you know what your distribution is. I don't know what it is, but it's probably okay to have it here. You just don't want to have it in your description. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Okay. Susan is next. Let's see. Grab this link. Sorry about that. Here we go.
Because I'm hungry now. Okay.
Well, it's going to get worse.
Oh, gosh. Okay, let's talk about the title. It kind of makes me laugh a little bit. Simple fresh strawberry pie without Jell-O. I mean, that just seemed. I mean, I don't know my strawberry pie.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to ask Susan if she's here. Is that a thing that people search for?
Yeah,
it could be like if you're vegan, if your kid is vegan, they don't want Jell-O. So maybe that's why. Don't know.
But everybody loves Jell-O.
Jello.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fresh picked strawberry pie. Okay.
Right.
I love the images on this. Love that.
Large fresh strawberry.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I like that slow zoom. That's nice. Like the little step number 3.
I like that too. I don't know what that means. Blind bake?
I don't either.
Okay. We need to learn about baking, apparently.
I like the slow zooms. I think that keeps people engaged. One thing you may... Can you pause it right there? Oh, go back.
Yes. Hold on.
So one of the things I like to do when I'm creating story pins, like if I zoom in on one, I like to do a pullback on the next. And it's just, you don't have to do it. But instead of always zooming in, doing like a zoom in and then a zoom out, a zoom in, a zoom, can kind of keep some movement. You don't want to do it too much or people get seasick, but you want to have it like, something like, but I like that slow zoom in.
And just to clarify that this is a video pin, so it's not a story pin this time.
Okay. Interesting. So I would then make sure if it's not a story pin to do a call to action. There isn't one. It's just
no, because you can go to the website.
Yeah, but I would still like go say something like go to the website, or if you'd like to print out this recipe, go here. Something, it just stops. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep, I agree. Like always tell them what you want them to do.
Oh, I think Connie says what blind bake is where you bake the crust first. She thinks. Oh, Susan says you bake the crust itself. So see that people may be searching for that. So
they might be.
And Jello is not vegan. She loves it.
Yeah.
So here, okay. Let's see. Here's a great question. So is a link okay on the end of your story pin, but not in the text? Thanks for clarifying.
I mean, what was the wording? The wording was,
if you want to be super safe, don't do it at all, is what I would do.
Exactly.
I would not put it in there.
Yeah, I think having people like putting in your handle, follow me, is probably a better idea. You definitely don't want to put it in your description.
Like anything that says .com in your text, because Pinterest can read and probably can figure out that that's a URL. So I would say like visit us online, and then maybe an arrow to what I don't know. Yeah, but
you could even say check out my profile, because on your profile you have a link.
Yeah. So. Visit my profile for the link to print this recipe. That's too long. You know what I'm saying though, but something like that. Yeah. So I would be, if you want the best reach possible, I would not have any sort of URL in the text.
I think you should test it.
I know, but they said it. And even if they, the problem with Pinterest is like, even if they don't enforce it right now, later on, they might. That's the problem. And then your story pin's kiboshed. So
super clear. Yeah, you don't want that. Okay.
No soggy bottoms.
Is that about blind baking?
That's what no, I'm not even gonna go there. So go ahead.
Okay. This is Jessica. Okay. So we got a quote pin. We know people like to save quotes on Pinterest. Do you realize how few static pins we have seen? And I was not filtering for video or story.
Ooh, that's cool. That's very engaging.
You're really stepping it up, guys. Super impressed, people. Okay.
This is a video pin, right?
This is a video pin.
Okay. Do that again. Lots going on here.
That was my take. There is too much going on here. For one thing, people don't watch a long video on Pinterest usually. And it feels like we have 5 or 6 videos in one.
Now, stop this one right here. I like for that much movement. I like movement, but I do not. This is really hard to read. This, other than the movement, that text on it is really, really hard, and it goes by too quick. And also we have to remember when this is a video pin and we've got things moving, most people read slower than we do. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You've got to think like. You've got to slow stuff down.
Yeah, as you're browsing, you can't read everything at once. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So we got some more things. Like Carol says, can you put your blog URL but not clickable at the very end, last card? I would say no, Carol, because I think
not clickable anyway.
It's not clickable.
There's no way to make it clickable.
I just wouldn't put any text because, as we know, Pinterest can read text. That's how they're finding
on your image.
on the image, and so I would not if you want to have the best reach possible, I would not put any sort of URL on my stories.
Agreed. Yeah. And I think like last thing for this one, the edges of this animation, just not, something doesn't look right about them. They're pixelated or something.
Yeah. And then that second kind of scene that was going, the text isn't really in the black all the way. It's going here.
There we go.
Right there. See, it's kind of the top, and then it kind of goes down. I would start that a little bit different. And once again, those scripty. There's a lot of different fonts, and there's a lot of different. I like the idea of the movement, though. I think they're on the kind of the right track. I would just not. I would pick two. The kind of the rule is 2 fonts, usually in the same family. And if you struggle with fonts like I do, I have a really bad problem with colors and fonts. Canva has a great like things like font pairing thing that you can go look at.
Yeah. So does Tailwind Create.
Tailwind Create has one built in. Yeah. So check those out. Their colors are amazing. And just let's say you're building this in something else instead, but you want to use Canva. You want to use Tailwind Create because they have some really good colors. You can actually go and use a tool like Colorzilla, which is a URL. It goes into it's a Chrome extension, and you can actually go and say, oh, Tailwind has that really great color I'm using for all my other pins. I can select that color using Colorzilla, which is a little eyedropper that lives in your browser, and you could paste that color like inside of InVideo or Wave Video if you want to grab that color. Because believe me, I've been there and I struggle with it. So,
okay. Are you ready for Viana?
Just real quick, because Sue has a good question. So this is Susan. She says, you're suggesting a CTA at the end of a video pin to not just stories. So, I don't think they've said anything about video pins having URLs on them.
Right, because they're linkable anyway.
Right. It's just on the story pins, we're saying not to put your website or a URL in it because they said that is going to limit the reach that they're showing those story pins to.
Yeah, the purpose is to have all the information right there in that story pin.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Viana.
So Carol's really pushing. How about just the blog name? I think if you don't have .com, you'll be okay. I think it's if they see that if it's like .com, .org, something like that. So
yeah, you can have branding. We noticed that those people had their Pinterest follower name, and yeah, absolutely. I would put the branding or your blog name. Great.
So put this down. Trona said I'm brilliant. So she says it's brilliant. Oh, I misread it. So thanks, Trona, for that. Yeah, so that's another good color pick eyedropper for that. It's great. I know.
Yeah.
I thought I was winning there for a minute.
All right, more food.
Okay. More food. Oh gosh. So
Berry chantilly cake.
Once again, what am I going to say?
Let's all say it together.
No scripty
font.
Yeah. And get the recipe now. The call to action's a little small, I think, for that. Yeah,
and I think I know calls to action, yes, good, but I think people know if it's a recipe pin that's what they're going to get to. I just want to see more of the cake. I actually would like to see it sliced right there so I can see all the texture. But that's just me. What do you think?
I love your thinking, Kelsey goes, I was thinking about adding a QR code to my website, but that would make sense if on their phone at the time. Yeah, you'd have to say take a screenshot, which they did that on Instagram for a while. I don't know if that you could test it and see, but I love your creative mind, Kelsey. That's
she's like, but
cool.
I want to.
Right, I want it so bad.
I get it. I get it. Okay, so berry chantilly cake. You know what I'm going to say about the title, right?
What are you going to say?
Don't repeat the title that's already on your image.
Right.
Right. So use this space for something else. And the one that pops out at me right here is it's vegetarian.
Oh, yeah.
Gorgeous vegetarian dessert recipe.
Yeah, that's big, and that's big in search too. So
yeah.
See what comes up after this. Go back to the other pins. So they have keto.
Chantilly layer cake.
But
all these fruities.
You would probably get, if you use that in the title, you'd probably get in some more vegetarian suggested pins. That's a great point, Elisa.
Why, thank you. Okay, but it's pretty. I like it.
Yeah, I love that, the fruit at the top. That looks really pretty. So I would, you know, are carousel pins still around? Do they still? Can you add multiple images?
They still exist. I never got anywhere with them, and I kind of feel like they're the same as a story pin, but with a link. So I don't know how much distribution they're going to get.
I just wonder, because this is a regular pin. This isn't a story pin. Doing multiple images, and because I would love to see if she did a photo shoot with this, like more like an angle at the top, down at that really pretty layout of the berries at the top.
And then with one cut, like with a piece on a plate with a so that would be really it would make me want to eat more. Is it raining
in your part of the town?
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Sounds like popcorn on my roof.
Yeah, okay, I just wanted to.
Yes, it is. Okay, and thank goodness too. We really needed it. Okay, this is Macy.
So Trona doesn't like carousel pins. She's not really liking it. So
you know, I'm not. Yeah,
they're just big on Instagram, and I always wonder, you know, Pinterest loves Instagram, and I'm wondering if someday they would be. Anyway,
Trona, tell me why you don't like them. I didn't really get on with them because I never got any results from them. But let me know if that's the same for you. Okay, this is Jamestown awning.
Okay, Jamestown. Elisa's rule applies here too. Don't duplicate, because you have that's just another place where you can maximize your Pinterest SEO in the not repeating the title.
Yeah, and that's what you see in the feed, right? Or in search results. All you see is like the image and the title. So make them different for sure.
Yeah. I want to see this awning. That's the thing. There's way too much white space on this.
Well, the photo is also really dark.
Yeah.
You can't see it. The other thing is, and it might be really hard to get this right now, is it would be nice to have an actual party going on under it.
Oh,
which I know it's like, okay, let's all stand 6 feet apart and party. Right. But that's kind of what's missing for me there.
Yeah, I think one, because you're saying parties outdoors, and this is just a picture of no partying going on here. This is after the cops were called and everyone had to distribute.
That's right.
Yes, everyone had to leave. I would like to see like everybody hanging out underneath your awesome awnings and enjoying themselves, smiling thing. So like I want that for my backyard because people are enjoying it. Exactly. So that's what I would love to see there. I do like the bottom. It's hard to read a little bit the logo. Yeah. I might make that a little bit bigger. This almost looks like a create pin. I don't know if you could tell.
I was thinking the same thing. It could very well be. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think you're on to something here. Let's give us a party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who is next? Darshan. I hope I'm saying that right. Probably not. Copy. Okay. Here we go.
All right. We got 10 minutes left. So
this is more than we usually get through. I'm so proud of us.
I know. You're really going fast. You're cracking the whip.
Okay. So here we are.
Okay. I like the thought of this. I like the emotion in this pin. Like coaching conundrum ? I like that. I'm not really a fan of the text. The image is kind of funny. It makes me go, but I would just try to work this a little bit more. And he's doing what you've said. There's, coaching conundrum, and then there's like, are you puzzled how to start a successful coaching business? What were your thoughts on the title versus the text on the image, Lisa?
To me, coaching conundrum ? Doesn't bring to mind that I'm trying to start a successful coaching business. So that to me, there's a disconnect between text on image and the title, which I know sounds kind of contradictory because I keep saying don't say the same thing, but together they don't make sense to me.
So I would maybe change it to be like frustrated with your coaching business ? Yeah. Like, because he shows him frustrated. And just because his biceps are about the same size as mine, I would make that image bigger. And I'm just kidding.
And blow up that part.
You could hear Lisa smiling in her voice. But make it bigger. I got that he was a coach, but even make it more blatantly obvious, like maybe in front of a gym equipment or something like that. Or,
Is it gym equipment? Is it business?
I don't know.
Or...
I assumed it was Jim because of the bulging biceps.
Now we need to know.
Now you're going to look.
Help people build businesses.
Oh,
it's
you're probably right.
Use of Linktree,
and it's off, and it's sold out. So he must be doing all right.
I guess so. You don't have to use hashtags in your descriptions. In fact, you probably shouldn't. And this isn't an affiliate pin, but if you're sending it to a link that has like affiliate links, you don't have to call that out in your.
So everybody is saying the same thing. I'm wondering if it's life, work, or fitness coach. I assumed it was fitness. So if the image makes me think of a high school football coach, yeah, you know he's wearing those goofy gray high school gym shorts underneath there.
Yeah, probably with knee socks.
Yeah. So that's a great point. So what I would do for this one, if you're frustrated with business coaching, I would make this more of a humorous image. Like it would be like over the top funny. Like there's some really good stock photos that I've seen of like people like, you know, just like pulling their hair out or something like that, and doing it. And if you're going to go for the humor, go for it and make it really obvious.
Because I didn't see this as a humorous picture. And one of my thoughts was going to be, Pinterest is a place for positivity. And I feel like, you know, maybe flip it around to your success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Trona goes, the big takeaway is we need clarity on this pin. That is a great point. See why I'm even here. Trona can just sum it up like this.
I know.
So talk about this from Leanne. You kind of did hashtags in the descriptions. Hashtags real quick.
You don't need to use hashtags on your descriptions. Don't use them. They don't work.
Don't freak out if you've got them. It's not worth going back and changing it.
Delete them.
But you don't need to do them anymore.
Nope, you don't. Okay.
So last one. This is probably the last one.
Lindsay. Okay.
Oh, that's cool. That is really cool.
That is, right?
So okay. I want more of this image.
I know. It's probably came from Instagram. I had to go to the website. I've already been there, but we'll go there together because yes, we need more. Okay. Oh, it's got a little gingerbread man in his mouth.
That's so cute. that is cool. Okay. One, this is a story pin waiting to happen with those images because of the behind the scenes and you putting it together. This is a natural story pin. Oh gosh, this is so cool. You got to show this image, but you got to have more shots of this image and bigger for Pinterest because this is really, really cool. I would try to, because it's hard to make the gingerbread guy out in his mouth. If you could have him on, like, so the background, you could see that gingerbread pop out there because that's really fun. Yeah. That is really eye-catching if you could see that better.
It's so cute. Yeah, and I have a feeling this whole picture is amazing, but I want it on a white background so I can make out the details of the Triceratops, and I want to see the whole thing.
Yeah, and this would do great on Pinterest. I mean, if you could see it and have, I would milk this thing dry because this kind of stuff is super popular. Yeah. Oh my gosh!
Look what she does. Look what she does. She's amazing.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. So
yeah, she's in North Carolina. I should just drop by for a gingerbread house.
That's cool. So yeah, you have amazing images. Optimize them for Pinterest. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Leanne says, so helpful. I just moved my social media from IG to Pinterest over to Tailwind. It's such a great tool. This live has been so helpful. Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, those are amazing images. They just need to.
So talented.
In the title, do you need to say? Do you think she needs to say "by gingerbread lady"? By gingerbread lady. Okay.
No, definitely not. No, her name's right under here, and it will be no matter who says it if she's claimed her website, which I'm sure she has done. Again, we have some hashtags in here, which we don't need. Visit me to see how. Okay, the only thing I wondered about is how is this helping her business? What is she selling stuff? Okay, we have a children's book. Hello, Ginger. She has a shop. Okay, products, fabric. So I guess my question would be, how are we tying this to something you sell? Yeah, and maybe she doesn't, and maybe she doesn't need to.
But if it goes to her blog on how to make this, that's where you would have the call to actions inside of the blog somewhere, like, sign up for my list, or, that kind of thing.
Want me to make one of these for you?
Right.
Maybe you'll make it, ship it.
Yeah. Print off the directions behind a gated thing. Okay. What's this? Is it on Amazon now?
I think it's just an affiliate link. So that is, I'm super impressed. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like Trona said, this is Pinterest gold. It really is. So people are going to find that and take off with it. And so you just need to optimize it for Pinterest.
The image just makes me really want more.
Yeah. And test different shots. I mean, all of those are going to be really cool, but test different shots that would work well. But, Story Pin is where I would go with that too. So pretty amazing. Yeah. We find so many cool people on Pinterest in our community. I mean, all you guys are amazing. But
thank you everybody for sending these in.
Yeah. So, let's see. Turner said it's Pinterest growth. And I agree, Marianne, the image would be clear with a solid floor background. I think that was a shot of a larger diorama kind of gingerbread stuff. And that looked like the road. But I think
this is food here.
Yeah.
This is icing and
So I think just trying out some different ones would be very, very cool. So Connie asked this question: do you all do reviews of Instagram profiles and posts too? We may have to do that sometime. That would be a good idea.
Hey, thanks for the idea.
Yeah.
We have our every other week.
We should get we should get like Instagram experts. Like Elise and I know some really, really good Instagram experts that might be able to do that. That would be good. But I like I get it. I mean, taking stuff from Instagram, putting on Pinterest, there's no reason not to do it. Because you never know. But I think to maximize this stuff, especially, food and, drink is so huge on Pinterest. That very, very cool art / recipe, I just think would go bonkers. So, Connie, please and thank you.
Okay, Connie.
Do that. So,
great idea, actually.
Trona likes it too. She thought it was a good idea. So, thanks, Pat. I appreciate you stopping by today. She loves hearing y'all's advice on any of the work. Thanks. And once again, we do this all out of love. We have super embarrassing. We should do that sometime. We should go back in our archives and show how our most hideous pins that we think, and maybe get some other of our friends on and say, show us your nastiest pin. And
listen, you guys can just tear them apart.
Yeah, you really can roast us, but they're bad. Yeah. We have some bad ones.
Yeah, you don't even have to be nice about it.
Yeah, not to Lisa, to me, yes. But don't forget, everybody, if you want a jump start on creating awesome pins, make sure you go to bit.ly/TW Pinterest Toolkit, all lowercase, all smashed together. There's some awesome new April templates in the mix. They're also on Tailwind Create. And if you haven't tested that out, it's a great way to make pins really, really quickly and schedule them right inside of Tailwind. Very, very cool. And they're adding new ones is it every day? If I say every day, am I wrong? They're doing it a lot.
We're doing it a lot. Yeah. We're always making it better too. Hey, Jeff, do you know who we're having on next week? Did I tell you? Do you know?
I'm the last to know. I am the last to know. Who's next week?
It's Steve Chu.
Yes, I've always wanted to have him on. He is a master at selling e-commerce. Yeah. So you guys, if you want to learn about e-commerce, he's got My Wife Quit Her Day Job blog and podcast. He's amazing. I've heard him speak at Social Media Marketing World. Yes.
He's awesome.
He did. I think they sell wedding handkerchiefs and stuff. And
yes, that's how they started. It was Bumblebee Linens. They started on with that and just took off. And now they're helping people build their own businesses. Yeah,
and he's super smart. And we're talking about e-commerce, so I know you guys would love to do that. So make sure you tune in same time next week for this e-commerce special we're having with Steve Chu. It's going to be amazing. Let's see. Brian says here. I'd love to hear about Tailwind with Instagram because I have been thinking about adding it to my current Tailwind account. Well, that sounds like a good idea to me, Brian. Stephanie goes, thank you so much. First time seeing the reviews. Good info. Well, thank you, Stephanie,
thanks for coming,
stopping by. And Leanne is looking forward to next week with the e-commerce thing. Same with Trona because she's always here. She's amazing.
No,
thank you,
we don't
Trona,
deserve her.
for stopping by. And Ashley says, love this live. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley, for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley.
And with that, we're actually 10 seconds early. So thank you guys. Don't forget about the awesome... What? Did you say wait?
I was counting down. Down.
So don't forget about the awesome templates at bit.ly/TW Pinterest Toolkit. With that, Elisa, I'll let you have the last seconds.
I just want to thank everybody for sending your pins in and for your suggestions to help people make great pins. Thanks, Sue.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.